Well, one of the wonderful meals that we had in Assisi, the city of St. Francis, was rigatoni with porcini sauce. It's a very simple sauce to do, so why don't we get about it? First of all, we have our pan heated to the proper heat, and I'm going to jack it up just a little bit more. And the very first thing, remember, hot pan, cold oil, food won't stick. So we first add about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And then as that's heating up, we will add the classical mirepoix of onions, garlic, and tomato with a little bit of parsley. And we're going to wait till that comes to temp. Okay, well now that the pan has come to temperature and the mirepoix is now sauteing very nicely, I'm going to shut down the heat just a little bit. And now I'm going to add the rest of our classical ingredients. Let's put in the garlic now. Now, got to make very clear that you saute the garlic gently. We don't want it to burn, okay? Because that will make a very bitter sauce. So at this point, I've added the garlic with the rest of the mirepoix, and that's sauteing wonderfully. Nice aroma. Wonderful aroma. And now that the mirepoix has become translucent, it's time to add the different types of mushrooms. Baby portobello. I'm going to saute those for a moment. And then the large portobello. Now, portobello mushrooms exude a lot of liquid, so we have to make sure that these are really sauteed well. Boy, that smells so nice. It really does. So we're just ready up to temp now. Okay. Now we're going to add about 2 ounces of pancetta, which is a lovely pork product. It's analogous to bacon without being smoked. There we go. Now to give it a real porcini, mushroomy type flavor, we're going to add some porcini water and porcini mushrooms. Now these mushrooms were soaked in water, and so they've all been rehydrated, you see? So I'm going to put them in now. And we're going to bring that up to temp. It looks like the mushrooms have wonderfully exuded all their flavor and all their juices with the pancetta and with the garlic and with the mirepoix. We're going to now add a little bit of sweet marsala. Sweet marsala is a fortified wine, and it just, oh my, that makes Happy Friar even more happy. It really does. Oh, that is so good. I can smell all the wonderful ingredients: the pancetta, the garlic, the mushroom, the mirepoix, and now the marsala. So I'm going to add a little bit of red pepper flake. This is, you know, I like my pasta a little bit hot, a little bit of spice. So this is a good pinch. So I'm going to add a little pinch of that. You know something? Maybe a double pinch. Why not? I like it hot and spicy. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, now it's time to add the cream. This is about a cup and a half of heavy cream. So I'm going to add a little bit of gorgonzola. I'd say about a quarter cup of that. And I want it to melt in wonderfully. Now, since we've used cream, and that can be a bit heavy, very rich, we need to just kind of soften it. And this is about a cup and a half of chicken broth. because we need just to refine the sauce. But as you'll see soon, once this gets incorporated, we are going to have another addition of cream. Now this is mascarpone. It's analogous to our cream cheese. I think it's better. It's sweeter. Doesn't have the tang that that our cheese has. Let me get that incorporated now. But it makes it luscious. It makes it silky. So let's get that incorporated. See, look at that. It's just melting down wonderfully. Okay, now, when you have a rich product such as this, since you're building flavors, when something is made with a lot of animal fat, such as cream and cheese and all of that, you want something to cut the richness, but not overpower the richness. That's why we always add a little bit of lemon zest for that freshness. And I'm going to add that now. And then with it, the juice of 1 lemon. Again, just to add that moment of freshness. You know, many times you've had sauces where it's really thick and heavy. And yes, it starts off well within the mouth, and it has a great mouthfeel. But then after the second or third bite, you go, boy, this is really rich. Well, if you add a little bit of lemon juice or zest or any type of acidic product, it makes it a lot better. Now, as you're going to find out throughout the rest of the series, you have to check for seasoning. You have to check for taste. So I'm going to taste it now and see how it is. We're almost getting to the point of nappe. Look, see? Look at that. We're almost there. So let's taste it. Oh my gosh. Father Eli's very happy right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this is cooking. We have the water ready to go. And so we're going to add about a ½ pound of rigatoni. So we're going to, and this has been salted. Now let me tell you about cooking pasta, folks. Remember, it's al dente. You don't want to overcook your pasta. And the only way that you're going to find out if it's done is by tasting it. And also, it tastes because you've added salt to the water. The taste of pasta water should be like seawater. Okay? You want to taste the salt. This is the only opportunity you are going to have to basically salt the pasta noodle. Okay? So I'm going to turn this on real high, and we will bring that up to temp. This is just, oh, look at this. This is reducing so wonderfully. I think it's time for a taste too, huh? The crew's hungry. They say, get this done. We want to eat now. Okay, and I think our pasta's ready. I find that when you drain your pasta, I rather use a strainer scoop like this because you save the pasta water. You always want to save your pasta water because you want to save some of the pasta starched water. This will thicken any sauce. Now, I'm going to gild the lily now. I'm going to add truffle oil. Now, when I put the truffle oil on, it's going to make the entire kitchen aromatic. And I do it with aplomb. Oh yeah, look at that, oh. And then a little bit of freshness with the Italian parsley. We have to have cheese, don't we? A little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. Boy, does that look good. And there you are, Friars Feast, rigatoni with porcini sauce. Enjoy. We now have the wonderful piece of tile work by an artist in Assisi, St. Francis, looking at his own town and talking to the birds, talking to the doves of peace and activity. We look at the tile work, and again, it's fine art representing something profoundly religious. In another piece by Raoul Dufy, a rather contemporary expressionist, we have the beautiful colors of creation, the blues, the greens, the yellows, the orange. Dufy, like the artist that did the tile work, wants to express the wonders of God's creation, the wonders of human living, the wonders of urban life. And so we celebrate that fact this day. Now for my second dish, this is a dish that I love doing, and I added my own personal nuance to it. It's pasta alla carbonara Friars Feast way. That means I take the classical recipe of pasta alla carbonara, which is basically salt pork, eggs, pepper flake, garlic, and olive oil, mix it with fettuccine or linguine, and serve it. This was the pasta for the poor. Well, I've taken that pasta and I've upgraded it, and I added all sorts of other things. So what I'm going to do now is, as I always do, let's salt the water for the pasta. As I said before in the last segment, make sure it's highly salted. You want the taste of seawater in that, okay? And now I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of penne. I'll put that in. Let's give that a little stir. And put the lid on that. Okay. I believe the pan is up to temp. This is a very quick dish. So what I'm going to do is just first add the olive oil, about 2 tablespoons, okay? And now we add the pancetta. See? You want to hear the sizzle? You want to hear the sizzle. Okay. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit because I don't want it to burn. I'm going to add the garlic. About 3 tablespoons of garlic. Okay. I'm going to turn it off for the time being. Now, the major component for pasta alla carbonara are eggs. As I said before, you can use salt pork. Well, I use pancetta, and then to adorn it, I use prosciutto. So let's crack, I'm going to crack about 6 eggs. And I'm doing it first in a glass bowl, then I deposit it, lest we have shells in the larger container. You just want to make sure that there's no shells. Okay. 6 eggs. Scramble them. I'm looking at the pancetta and garlic. It's not burning. It's, in fact, it's getting nicely toasted. Let's look around here. Oh, that's nice. Fragrant. Oh, is that good? Okay. Once the pasta comes to temp and it's al dente, it's a mere matter of putting things together. So we have the garlic, the pancetta, we have the beaten eggs. I'm going to add bloomed saffron. Saffron is probably the most costliest spice. And I've added water to it so it's bloomed. That means it has released its flavor and its aroma. and its color. We also add, towards the end, red pepper flake, lemon juice for acidity, zest for the fragrance, for the freshness, and then of course I can't be outwitted. Where's the richness? It comes with the mascarpone. So as the pasta comes to temp, we'll put these things all together. Okay, let's see if the pasta's done, okay? Let's come over and take a, that looks good. Perfectly al dente. Okay, so we're ready. Now, this is what's so fascinating. There are two schools of thought to this. That you want the pasta, the hot pasta, to curdle the egg, or you do not. And I'm of the school that you do not. Namely, that I want an egg cream type of sauce. So that's what I'm going to have. Put these over here. Okay, now my pan is hot. I'm just getting it up to temp a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to add red pepper flake to this. Not much, just a little. Okay. I'm going to add the zest of 1 lemon, the juice of 1 lemon, and the eggs. Now, this is where you have to be very careful. Do you want it like an egg sauce, or do you want it curdled? Now, I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to add a little bit of the mascarpone for richness. I'm going to add now the bloomed saffron. That's my own little touch. I just love saffron. And I'm just going to swirl it in together. I've turned it off the heat, so the residual heat is making the sauce. I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And the residual heat is cooking the egg. This is because it is a raw egg product, but it's now being cooked. It has to get up to a certain temperature, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to turn back on the heat. I want it thickened just a little bit. Now this is always chancy. You can have an egg sauce, or you can have scrambled eggs with pasta. And I'm being very careful, because the more heat you add, the thicker it becomes. Oh God, yeah. That cheese has just made it so creamy. Oh, look at that. That's the cheese. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? Oh, a little bit more. Now I'm going to add a little bit of parsley flake to that. I believe we're done. Okay, so it's time to place the pasta alla carbonara. Don't forget. Are we having a smoke signal here? Yeah, we are. Shall I send signals out? You all wondered how long it was going to take, didn't you? Oh my God, it was like a smoke screen in here. You ought to be standing up here. I thought I was some Native American doing smoke signals. Oh my God!
You did very good, Bob, for holding it that long.
Oh Lord, heaven and earth! And now for our final dish. This is called Pasta Marco Polo. It combines the best of both East and West. So first thing we're going to do is take the multicolored pasta, like the Italian flag. We'll put it in. I'm going to make sure it gets immersed in the water. I've already salted the water, and I've already added oil to make sure that it doesn't stick. So I'm just going to push it down. And so there we are. Let's put that in. This is one of these pastas that very little cooking. I've turned on the heat. Let's add about a tablespoon of great olive oil. Look at that. Nice sizzle. I'm going to turn it off now. I'm now going to add white Santanas or raisins. I'm going to add roasted red peppers, about a cup. Did you hear the sizzle? That means it's right up to temp, and that's what you want to hear. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic, about 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic. A little bit more out of there. There we go. And let's kind of swirl that around, get that incorporated. And one thing about this dish, as soon as this pasta is done, you simply combine it in the pot. That's it. That's why it's a quick, easy, middle of the weekday meal. By the way, when you cook pasta, make sure you have plenty of water. I'm going to put the lid. Okay. This is sizzling. This is speaking to me really nice. Okay, and now I'm going to add the red pepper flake. Yes, the red pepper flake. Yes, I like red pepper flake. Do I like my heat? Yes. And what I'm doing is that I'm releasing the essential oils from the red pepper flake once it hits the hot pan, like it just did. Holy smoke. Oh, boy, that brings back great memories. Now I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to add about a cup and a half of Carbonara olives with their juice. I chopped them up already. Let's see how the pasta is doing. We're almost there. Now, this is not quite al dente. It's almost there. And what some chefs do, you know, they don't cook it till it's al dente. They cook it like about 2 degrees before al dente. 2 degrees. Why? Because then it cooks in the pot. It cooks in the pot so that the sauce is released in the pasta. And you know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to bring it over. I'm simply going to put it in. Make sure you get it in the pot. That would be nice. I'll do it this way. Oh, look at that. I believe this is spinach and carrot and regular white pasta. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's get this in. And now I'm going to add the rest. Now, as you noticed, I've reserved the pasta water. That adds the sauce effect. I'm now adding pre-toasted pine nuts. So pine nuts and raisins. Look at that. Oh, doesn't it look colorful? Gosh, I love it. And boy, does it smell good. Now, let's add the fresher bits of flavor, namely the lemon zest. the lemon juice, parsley flake, a little bit of sweetness, natural honey. There we go. And let's toss it together. And just as I expected, it's a little dry. That's why you save the pasta water. It's filled with starch. Look at the starch on that. Yeah. That is what makes the sauce. And then, for creaminess, I'm going to add the Parmesan cheese. About a cup and a half. Always going to be there. And look at that. Oh, I think we've hit it. Look at that. You see that? That's what happens when you cook the pasta last few minutes with the rest of the pasta sauce and what you make out of the pasta sauce in a large pan. It's a marriage. Look at that. Look at that. Red, the white, the green, the olives. Now we're ready to add the last ingredient, the fresh spinach. You think this looks like a lot, but it's not. But once you put it in, it quickly cooks, and it's quickly absorbed within the pasta itself. Whoop, get back in there. There we go. And we'll just let that cook down for a moment. Look how it's coming together. And I believe we're ready to plate. Hold on. Well, that completes our wonderful program today, An Evening in Assisi. This is Father Jude Eli, Faith Family Food. Friars Feast wishing you God's blessing. And always remember, when you feed others, you're feeding the presence of God within them. Take care.